Good evening. Well, I might as well. I'm on a roll with these videos tonight. One, hammering the Jets for a typical pathetic offense. Crushing Mets defeat, Knicks first preseason win. But I want to talk real briefly about the Rangers season preview. The season is coming up Wednesday. They play their first game of the year against old man Sidney Crosby and the Pittsburgh Penguins. So to sum it up, first of all, I think the New York Rangers, basically they're running it back with the same core. With the exception of they dumped Goudreau and got this guy Carrick. I didn't really know too much about. Excuse me, Riley Smith, first line winger. They're gonna try to use him on the first line with Zibanejad and Kreider. Second line, you've got Lafreniere, Trocheck, and Panarin. That line should be fine as a Cooley, Kako, and Hedel on the third line. And, in the fourth, Rempe, Brozinski, VC, whoever. So the winger depth isn't bad. Is Riley Smith the answer on the first line? Honestly, I don't know. Maybe he is, maybe he's not. Supposedly he played a big part in helping the Vegas Knights win the cup. But he was very mediocre with the Penguins last year, so I don't know. The jury's out for me on that. And I know the Rangers were limited on cap space too. Dumping Goudreau for Carrick again. That's maybe seems like a lateral move, if any. But I liked Goudreau in the postseason, so I don't know how that's going to work with this guy. Like I said, Riley Smith. We'll see what he brings. Jury's out there. Otherwise, as a Ranger fan, you know what you're going to get. Panarin is a regular season goal scorer, but playoffs seem to be a different story. And Mika, Trocheck, Kreider, they'll get their points. And we obviously have one of the best goalies, if not the best goalie in the NHL, and Igor Shesterkin that will keep us in it. And I know he's going to want to get paid, rightfully so. I know he's worth a lot. But I gotta say, if we pay him, I worry that it's gonna hamper us to make other moves, and he's gonna have the same fate that Lundqvist had, where we kept making the playoffs, but we weren't, but no cup. How many cups did Lundqvist win? So I mean, I think that the Rangers are going to be a solid regular season team as they've been. For me, it's always fast forward to April when the playoffs start. That's how I always feel like with the New York Rangers. Fast forward to the postseason. I mean, that's exactly what it is. We'll see. We'll see what they can do. Like I said, I'm long as they're healthy, they'll make the playoffs. This is Igor's last year before his contract, and I'm sure the Rangers are going to back up the truck to keep him. They're stupid to let him go. I don't think they're going to let him go. But one way or another, like I said, are they good enough to win the cup? Honestly, we thought they were last year, and look what happened. They ran into a wall with the Florida Panthers, who ended up winning it. And they're running it back again. You've got New Jersey, who upgraded their goalie position. Carolina took a step back. Tampa Bay's kind of neutral. Boston's about neutral from where they were. The Rangers, I mean, Islanders really didn't do much. They're going to be the same. Toronto is going to be about the same. The Boston's, yeah, I said Boston. Carolina took some steps backwards on paper, but they'll probably still find a way to be tough. But all in all, the Rangers, they'll be in the mix, and like I said, it's going to come down to how they perform in the postseason. I mean, they were a great power play team in the regular season, but had some issues later in the playoffs as the competition got tougher and the defense got tougher, especially Florida. Carolina had their problems, gave the Rangers problems, but Igor bailed them out. And basically, the difference why we beat Carolina was the goaltending. That was it. That was the difference right there. Otherwise, Carolina would have advanced and we wouldn't have. But we met our match with the Florida Panthers. But the fact of the matter is I feel like the Rangers don't have enough grit, toughness, I know the fans like Rempe, but I mean, I do too, for what he is, for the being, maybe he is the enforcer that we need. But to me, I feel like the team, as good as they are, they're missing something. And I don't expect them to win the cup this year. They'll make the playoffs, maybe win a round, but if they ran into a buzzsaw with the Florida Panthers, and just like they ran into a buzzsaw with the Tampa Bay Lightning, and those teams have that it factor, and I don't see that with the Rangers in the playoffs. I don't see it. I mean, Kreider doesn't do enough consistently. Panarin doesn't do enough consistently. Zibanejad doesn't do enough consistently. But maybe this year the fact that they lost twice in the last 3 years in the conference finals will humble them. Maybe they learn. I don't know. But one way or another, I don't expect them to get there. They'll get to the playoffs, but I don't expect a cup from them. And but we'll see. Either way, it'll be a solid season. But Stanley Cup, I don't think it's gonna happen. But hopefully I'll be proven wrong. But anyways, the season starts Wednesday against the Pittsburgh Penguins, and like I said, every Ranger fan knows what we're gonna get. And I will say this: the kid line. Hopefully, Hito can finally stay healthy. The kids, I should say. Kako, the jury's out. He just hasn't been able to put it together. Lafreniere looked like he was starting to come around later in the playoffs. So, still a good team, but I don't think it's a Stanley Cup winning team. But we'll see. All starts Wednesday, and it'll be another interesting ride, nonetheless.